Hey, today I will be talking about Mars in astronomy, some history facts, and then about Mars in houses and signs of the zodiac. I realize that topics like this one could be talked about for hours. I am trying to keep these videos interesting and not overly long. At some point in the future videos, I will touch upon all the topics in this and all of the previous videos on a much deeper level. For now, I truly appreciate your support. With that being said, let's talk about Mars. Mars is over 4.5 billion years old, formed when gravity pulled swirling gas and dust in to become the fourth planet from the Sun, or second closest to Earth. He is half the size of Earth and is older than Earth by about 90 million years. Romans named planet Mars by their god of war because of its reddish color, which is reminiscent of blood. Mars is visible with the naked eye in the night sky, and it is not known exactly when it was first discovered. There are reports of it being seen by Egyptians who called Mars Herdesher, meaning the red one, and they were familiar with the retrograde motion of the planet. Herdesher Vallis is an ancient river valley in one part of Mars. The Chinese astronomers called him the fire star. Babylonian astrologers called him Nergal as their god of death and pestilence. In Mesopotamian texts, Mars was known as the star of judgment of the fate of the dead. In the 4th century BC, Aristotle noted that Mars disappeared behind the moon during an occultation, indicating that the planet was farther away. Occultation means when one object is being hidden from the observer by another object that passes between them. Ptolemy also addressed orbital motion of Mars, or attempted to address it, and some of this can be found in his multi-volume collection called the Almagest, which I have shown in one of my previous videos. Almagest, this name means something like the greatest collection. Galileo Galilei was the first one who spotted Mars through a telescope in 1610. On Earth, Mars is frequently called the red planet, as iron minerals in his dirt oxidize or rust, causing the surface to look red. Martian days are called sols, which is short for solar day. Mars completes one rotation around its axis in about 24 hours and 40 minutes, so Martian day is approximately 40 minutes longer than day on Earth. A year on Mars lasts around 669 sols, which is about 687 Earth days. Like Earth, Mars has seasons, but they last longer as it takes Mars longer to orbit the Sun, as it is further away. The seasons vary in length because of Mars's elliptical egg-shaped orbit around the Sun. So when Mars is closest to the Sun, its southern hemisphere is tilted toward our star, and this gives the planet a short and warm summer, while the northern hemisphere has a short and cold winter. And when Mars is farthest from the Sun, the northern hemisphere is tilted toward the Sun, giving a long and mild summer, while the southern hemisphere experiences long and cold winter. The gravitational pull from other planets changes orbit shape too, and Mars is particularly influenced by Jupiter. Approximately every 26 months, Mars is closest to the Earth during opposition, and this can be an ideal time for observing him. As Mars approaches opposition, it begins a period of retrograde motion, so he will appear to be moving backwards. This retrograde motion lasts about 72 days, and in the middle of this interval, Mars reaches its peak apparent brightness. Mars has two small moons, or two natural satellites. They are potato-shaped, or irregular in shape, named Phobos, meaning fear, and Deimos, meaning terror or dread. And they got their names after the horses that pulled the chariot of the Greek god of war, Ares, or in other version, they were named after the two sons of Ares, or Mars, and Aphrodite, or Venus. Phobos is larger than Deimos. They were discovered by American astronomer Asaph Hall in 1877. Phobos is also gradually moving closer to Mars, and it is predicted to eventually collide with the planet, while Deimos is slowly moving away. Some interesting facts about Mars is that he is the home planet to the largest known volcano in the solar system, Olympus Mons, 3 times taller than Mount Everest, and also has the deepest and longest valley called Valles Marineris, close to the width of Australia. Mars also has north and south poles just like Earth, and his sunsets are blue. The planet's symbol dates from at least 11th century. It is a circle with a spear pointing up to upper right, also used as a symbol for male gender. In astrology, Mars shows how we use or utilize power over others. Placement of Mars can also reveal how we influence others' feelings, how we draw out other behaviors without communication. Now, Mars may have a bad reputation, but he represents the principles of drive, passion, and overall doing. Whatever Mars touches in a natal chart, he converts it into action. And depending on the house, sign, and aspect, we may see where, when, and how we show our strength, our courage, and confidence, what drives us into action, and the kind of action we take. Mars describes our desire and will to survive. Now, after this brief introduction, let's move on to Mars in houses and signs of the zodiac. Mars in the first house or ascendant, when well aspected, may have very beneficial influence upon the constitution, especially if he is placed in Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or in the sign of his exaltation Capricorn. This position gives energy, drive, ambition, self-reliance, and determination, all the characteristics that can be extremely helpful in fighting the battles of life. It indicates an enterprising and practical personality, and these individuals can put a lot of effort in order to succeed. If Mars is afflicted here, he will still give a good constitution, giving muscular power and endurance, but the personality may be more rash, impulsive, and headstrong. These individuals may neglect everyday precautions in order to guard their health and can be liable to different sorts of accidents. In this respect, the Sun may show fevers and inflammations. Jupiter may have liability to broken bones or accidents on the roads. Uranus and Saturn may cause bruises and falls. And Venus can indicate some health problems if one has overly passionate nature, like venereal diseases. Mars in Aries gives energetic, impulsive, enthusiastic, and impatient nature. No matter what obstacles may be in the way, these individuals will attempt seemingly impossible and may succeed through sheer audacity. This position gives an abundance of vitality and love of sport and exercise, and one can show the same enthusiasm in work and in recreation, and on that account can get a great deal out of life. If Mars in Aries is afflicted, it may give violent temper and a liability to accidents, and mind may be vulnerable. Now, Mars in Aries people may be described as an ironic mix of absent-minded innocence and passionate power. Mars in the second house, when well aspected, makes one generous and free in financial dealings with others. These individuals may have incredible earning capacity and may make financial success in any business. This may be especially seen in businesses of Mars's nature, like working with iron tools or machinery. This position also indicates financial gain through marriage or legacy, but although this money may come easy and fast, one may not accumulate wealth, as these people are generous and fond of comfort and pleasure. When Mars is afflicted here, finances might still be good, but one may be outrageously extravagant and inclined to be reckless in financial ventures, which may result in heavy losses. These people never give up, and even when they are in financial problems, they almost immediately start to build themselves up again. However, the whole process may go on repeat, as they are liable to repeated financial shipwreck. Now, Mars in Taurus may show good earning power and inner strength of unconquerable nature, quiet persistence that recognizes no defeat, pressing towards the goal. These people are of that kind that does not hear what one tells them until one tells them what they want to hear. Basically, they can wear you down. If afflicted in Taurus, Mars may show very stubborn, violent, and vindictive personality. These people may pursue their own way despite reason or argument, and may not forgive anyone who tries to step in their way. Even when afflicted, one also has good earning power, but may spend the money quickly, which may cause financial difficulties. And if legacy comes their way, it is possible to lose it through legal trouble. Now, domestic problems can also be seen here. Mars in the third house, when well aspected, makes the mind bright and alert, fond of argument, inventive, and resourceful with constructive ability. When Mars is afflicted here, it may cause accidents on short journeys, a quarrelsome nature, especially with siblings and neighbors. These people may be very critical toward anybody with whom they may come in contact, so they may be feared and avoided by others. Mars in Gemini can give active mentality. People with this position are usually honest and outspoken and may say what they mean, but sometimes too bluntly. They like debates and may succeed in engineering professions as they are resourceful, mechanical, and quick to grasp a problem or proposition. If Mars is afflicted here, it may give cynical, sneering, and critical disposition. These individuals may have problems in making decisions, so it might be difficult to be dependent on to stand by their word or their promise. Gemini Mars likes your company, but it is bossy and it can be mean. Mars in the 4th house, when well aspected, gives a good constitution which remains good even in older age, and the digestive system may be very good too. Mars here makes one almost aggressive in his efforts to accumulate property for old age and rainy day. Possible legacy from parents is seen here too. This can be a fortunate position, especially for those who have Mars in Aries, Leo, or Capricorn. If placed in Cancer or Pisces or afflicted by squares or oppositions, health problems may undermine vitality and one may become more quarrelsome and disagreeable. If really badly afflicted, one recommendation might be to leave the native place, as this may relieve the trouble to some extent. Now, Mars in Cancer, when well aspected, may give a bold, independent, and fearless nature, a home-loving disposition, and a good provider for the home in every respect. At the same time, these people may exercise unrestricted authority over everyone within the home environment and might not tolerate other authority. This position indicates rather uncertain temper and may show a tendency towards changing occupations. If Mars is afflicted in Cancer, it can bring domestic quarrels, violent scenes, accidents in home by fire through recklessness or carelessness. Mars in the 5th house, when well aspected, gives passionate and emotional, demonstrative nature in love. It makes one fond of sports, athletic exercises. A man is admired by women, and a woman is a real friend to her male companion. These people can be great disciplinarians if placed in position like teachers or principals, as they make better leaders than followers. When Mars is afflicted, it makes one very variable in affections. These people can be overly flirty and get on with the new love before they are through with the old one, and therefore are likely to get into trouble. It may also show some difficulties in childbearing or overindulgence in physical intimacy. Individuals with afflicted Mars in the 5th house may also be liable to losses through gambling and speculation in stocks or bonds. The Mars in Leo might give industrious and honest personality, fearless and independent in dealings with other people, a sense of honor and responsibility. These individuals may say what they mean, they never beat around the bush, and can be overly direct, thus causing some embarrassment. Strong and forceful in their arguments, either for or against that which they believe or disbelieve. Mars Leo likes risks and likes to pursue pleasure or business. These people want partners to know they are being controlled. When afflicted, it can cause fiery and violent temper, liability to inflammatory diseases or hallucinations. It may show trouble in courtship and loss through speculations. Afflicted Mars in Leo gives the same strength when not afflicted, but the danger of accidents is greater, and this can be unusually disloyal position. Mars in the 6th house, when well aspected, makes one energetic worker who is likely to rise to a prominent position if he is employed by someone else, as sometimes this position may not show great results when starting a business for oneself, unless the rest of the chart offers support. This position increases vitality, and usually these individuals can fight off health problems with relative ease. If Mars is afflicted here, there is a liability to troubles and quarrels with co-workers or employer. If one is the employer, he may experience loss or dishonesty through his employers, as they might waste his goods and have no regard for his interest. Afflicted Mars here may also indicate fevers and inflammatory problems or dangers of burns. Now, Mars in Virgo, when well aspected, may show ambitious nature and a quick intellect. It strengthens the mental qualities and can give scientific turn to the mind. These people may be energetic and enterprising, shrewd, which brings them success and promotion. When afflicted, it subjects the mind to worry and irritability with a tendency to agonize over troubles in life which may be mostly imagined. Afflicted Mars in Virgo may be very critical toward their co-workers and employer, and dissatisfied with everything connected to their work. These individuals may also be of dishonest nature, and it might not be easy to trust them in a position of responsibility. Overindulgence in appetites can be seen here too. Mars in Virgo people can make good level-headed companions while it lasts. Mars in the 7th house, when well aspected, may give a capable and diligent partner, always looking how to promote welfare of the union or of the family, a strong personality but kind in disposition. This applies to both genders. Mars in the 7th house may give a tendency to an early union, and because of this, both sides can be more easily accommodating to different conditions in a relationship than if the union happens at a more mature age. If Mars is afflicted here, it may show loss of partner in some way, a partner that is quarrelsome. And if one of the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces is on the cusp, it may show problems with different kinds of addictions. Now, this can also apply to afflicted Scorpio Mars. Now, Mars in Libra may give loving and ardent personality, which can be very attractive to others. It can show love of art and beauty in all form, and can make one very popular with the public or in societies of social nature. Mars in Libra can actually be a very good position for lawyers, and it is a good indicator of general health. If Mars is afflicted here, it can make one unpopular and subject to criticism of the community, in danger of public scandal on account of unfaithfulness. These people may have a natural tendency to play with other people's emotions or affections. Mars in Libra people also have a tendency to punish others for things the other never knew they did. Mars in the 8th house may bring financial benefit through partner or relationships, or by legacy. In business, this is a good position for gain, lawsuits, or anything connected with the 8th house. If Mars is afflicted here, financial conditions may grow worse after marriage, and business partnerships and litigation may bring losses. It is thought that Mars in this house should not delay making one's will, as it may cause sudden and unexpected end of life. Now, Mars in Scorpio can show sharp and forceful mentality and a rather blunt manner and an indifference to the finer sensibilities of others. These people usually have undeniable, unshakable, inexhaustible energy which can carry them over all obstacles. In this respect, they can be selfish and may even be ready to sacrifice whatever stands in their way. In a female chart, it can show a partner who has good earning capacity, but is rather too free and generous with his means. When afflicted, it can bring a bad side of passional nature and may lead one into excesses of different sorts, or it may cause addiction. Mars in Scorpio indicates confrontational nature and a sharp tongue. This is one of the more effective placements when it comes to getting what one wants. Mars in the 9th house might give a liberal, broad-minded, and progressive view upon all problems in life. One may benefit from changing residences or by traveling in foreign lands. Clean, clear, and alert mentality while presenting views on life is also seen here. These people can make good promoters and advocates in whatever line of propaganda they take up. If afflicted, Mars here can make one fanatical in one's views, a ranter with ideas which may not be very well accepted. Afflicted Mars here can also show accidents on journeys, and even if these people do not like their native place in foreign parts, they might find worse reception overall. Now, Mars in Sagittarius may give argumentative disposition, and one may like to discuss subjects of serious nature like politics, law, philosophy, and religion. It can make one candid and open in all his dealings with others, full of enthusiasm and ambition, anxious to appear well in the eyes of the community, although he might scorn to cater the ideas of others if they do not coincide with his own ideas. These people can be interesting and great entertainers, especially in later life. Good oratory skills are seen here too. Afflicted, Mars here can show dishonest streak in nature, so one can be disliked in the community, as it may seem one is always contradictory in his ideas and opinions. Mars in the 10th house, when well aspected, is one of the best positions and signs of success in life, as it gives ambitious, enthusiastic nature with great flow of energy. So no matter what obstacles are in the way, these people are usually bound to rise to the top. It can show great executive abilities, and one can be well qualified to conduct business and command others. This is a good position for anyone working in Martian occupations like tailors or surgeons, engineers, and so on. If afflicted, Mars here usually gives the same energy and ambition, but one may lack tolerance and be overreaching, doing more than one can manage. This position may also give liability to slander. Now, Mars in Capricorn adds much strength to the character together with a patient persistence and perseverance. People with this position almost always rise in life, especially if in 10th house. When well aspected, it invites respect and esteem of others. These people are generally warm-hearted once one gets to know them. When afflicted, there will be similar ambition to do great things, but one may be rash and impulsive, taking upon oneself more than he can carry through. Lacking in persistence necessary to overcome obstacles is also possible. People with this affliction can have hasty temperament, vindictive disposition, pretentious nature, and may become a subject of mockery. Mars in the 11th house makes people leaders in their particular social set. It shows enthusiasm in the pursuit of pleasure, bringing friends among martial and athletic people. It gives energy for realizing hopes, wishes, and aspirations. If Mars is afflicted here, it can make one touchy and sensitive towards close people and friends, making one unpopular. Also, even if there is a desire for success, to realize ambitions may be more difficult. Now, Mars in Aquarius makes one intuitive, ingenious, and hard worker for success. One may gain friendship from others easily, which can give great force. Mars in Aquarius can be very good in things connected with the electrical science. These people can make good spokespersons for the masses too. When Mars is afflicted in Aquarius, it can make one too independent and resentful of authority, blunt in speech and manner towards others. These people can be very difficult to get along with, and it may also give problems with the eyes. Mars in the 12th house can bring success and benefit in anything connected with this house, like being employed in an official capacity as warden or surgeon, as administrator of an estate, or in detective work. If Mars is afflicted in the 12th house, one may be liable to trouble, sorrow, and self-undoing all through life. Cancer or Pisces on the cusp of 12th house may cause dissipation, and Scorpio may show some form of self-abuse. Whatever the story may be, afflicted Mars here can show a social outcast. Now, Mars in Pisces can make one a dreamer who usually prefers peace over war. These people may be difficult to get a hold of and can have a gift of camouflage. The suffering of others can be what causes anger for these individuals. It can show a tendency towards secret love affairs, which the person is able to hide from the public eye. Now, if afflicted, Mars in Pisces can cause indulgence in secret dealings, may be prone to drink and drug addictions, more than other Mars signs. And also there is a possibility of having secret enemies, and one may suffer attacks from his enemies. The nature may be untruthful, and because of that, troubles and misfortunes are possible. But to end on a good note, this is a good position for service to others and for those who direct their energies into the arts or mystical matters. And this is it for today. As always, thank you for being with me and listening to me. It means a lot. So please subscribe, press a like button, and I will be seeing you in a couple of days. Bye.